Good morning, everyone. This is Nate from Nate's Here and There, coming to you live from near or far. Today, I am doing a cemetery that kind of hits home to me. It's my family, my grandmother, my grandfather, and a lot of my aunts and uncles out here. So, come along with me today. Grab a chair, sit back, and enjoy. And this is it right here. Ella Poston was my grandmother. My daddy's mama. She was born in 1912, and they don't have the they didn't ever come out to put the date on it yet, but it was 2006. I still remember when she passed away. And this is my granddaddy, Carol, 1907 and 1970. And this right here is actually my uncle, Hubert Carroll Catledge. This is my uncle. He's born in 1934 and died in 1979. I'll be honest with you, I barely remember it. Because in 1974, I was 4 years old. And here's Marty Boone, 1909 to 1997. Here's Junior Dixon, 1907 to 1970. Mary Alice Dixon. She either has passed away or, hadn't put her name up or her date. And here's Laura Dixon, 1905 to 1984. This is Diane Parker. She's born in 1955 and died in 2004. And this is Juanita Frances Hughesly. Born in 1941 and died in 2006. Edward Dixon, 1936 to 2017. Daisy Stevens, 1914 to 2002. And Wade Edward Dixon Jr., 1959 to 2020. And here's Agnes Uten, 1914 to 2003. Odell Uten, 1912 to 1980. Everett Uten, 1937 to 1964. Here's Jimmy L. Uten, 1958 to 1980. And here's Betsy Lou Wallace, 1961 to 2006. Johnny Ray Wallace, 1961 to 2003. Dora H. Wallace, 1935 to 2009. And I think this is a baby. Right here, I think this one was a baby. I got a pretty cool reflecting bench right here. It's got Peggy Margaret, Buster Glenn Dauber, Dennis Phyllis. Here's Gary Eugene Self, He was a Marine. Just to let you know, and if you watch any of my videos, you'll know in the very end of the video there will be a tribute to him. But born in 1957 and died in 2015. And here is Glenn Nancy T. Johnson, 1955 to 2021. But Joe hadn't passed away. Joe Johnson, Joseph Earl Johnson. But they were married on May the 7th, 1980. Here's Christine Knight Rollins, 1952 to 2003. And Oliver Alfred Buster Oliver, 1939 to 2002. Here's Donnie Oliver, 1949 to 2004. I think I remember him. He used to come to church here when Mom and Dad, when we used to come over here for like revivals and stuff. But he would come to church and he would have a baseball. And he was autistic. He was really bad autistic. I still remember, and him and my daddy always picked on each other. And here's Maddie Wright, 1919 to 1994, and Carl J. Wright, 1930. I can't really see it. 1930 to 1996. And here is Thurlow Dixon, 1911 and 1973. Catherine E. Dixon, 1918 to 1992. Here's Donnie Barrett, 1963 to 1998. And here is Claude Barrett. I remember them. Claude, and I think that's Sadie Barrett. I think that's his wife, is Sadie. 1939 to 2016. Here's Barbara Ann Uten, 1957. Oh, she died the same day. Barbara Ann Uten. And here's Charlie Uten, 1887 to 1960. This is the oldest one I found out here so far. And here's Cindy Knight. 1959 to 2004. Here's Barbara Dees. 1936 to 1989. Here's John David Wright, 1964 to 1985. Lottie Wright, 1925 to 2013. A.W. Wright, 1924 to 2012. Arthur Wright Jr. Spooner, 1961 to 2017. And this is Gloria Ann Jackson, 1961 to 2020. And Will David, born in 1961, hasn't passed away, or he has. They haven't put his year up yet. And Susie Boone Wright and Wade Thomas, 1939 to 2020. And here's Thelma Oliver, 1916 to 2005. And Claude Oliver, 1911 to 1996. And walking over here, this is Nanny Margaret G. Boone, 1946 to 2022. And this was my cousin, JoJo Catledge, 1952 to 1974. He got killed in a car wreck. And right in front of my grandma's house, actually. And this right here is actually my aunt and uncle. Ethel J. We always called her Babe. 1917 to 2006. This was my uncle, David Catledge. 1916 to 1988. And here is Kimmy R. Tucker, 1939 to 2010. Johnny L. Tucker, 1933 to 2021. And here is Phyllis Diane Thompson, 1956 to 1987. And here is Gladys F. Thompson, 1923 to 1974. David Henry Thompson, I'm sorry, I looked at his daddy, 1918 to 1982. And they were married on June the 7th, 1941. Here's Della Mae Ellis, 1909 to 1984. And she hasn't passed away, but she's already got her headstone on here, Crystal Bowers. And some more over here. Virginia May Chapel, 1941 to 1956. Will J. Chapel, 1914 to 1975. John T. Chapel, 1948 to 1950. Oh, he was only 2 years old. Louise Chapel, 1915 to 1982. The Reverend Tommy Chapel, 1954 to 2002. Here's Leroy S. Freeman, 1927 to 1969. And Troy Lee Freeman, 1954 to 1976. Here's Jason Gainey, 1954 to 1957. Well, he's only 3 years old. And here's Florence Dixon, 1900 to 1981. She's 81 years old. Here's Jesse D. Knight, 1923 to 2006. Charlie Knight, 1920 to 2001. There's some right here, but I can't tell what they are. I can't see the writing on them. These two. And here is Reverend Louis C. Allen, 1910 to 1978. And Bernice Allen, 1926 to 2011. And there's one more over here by itself. Oh, he was young. Sean Dale Ingram, 1982 to 2018. Oh, he was young. And here's James Johnson Jr., 1934 to 2000. And here's another, oh, this is a cousin right here. Ralph Catledge. He's one of my cousins. This is my Uncle David's son. One I just showed you. 1941 to 2011. And his wife, Mary Louise, is not even, she's still alive. Here is Mary S. Uten, 1916 to 2002. And Roy Uten, 1909, 1985. Here's Toy Richard Uten, 1934 to 1961. And here's Terry Sullivan, 1955 to 2008. Joe Sullivan, 1929 and 1987. And Oscar Jr. Sullivan, 1926 to 1983. Gladys S. Sullivan, 1927 to 2012. Here's Faye Oliver, 1956 to 1994. Jimmy Oliver, 1946 to 2005. And Larry Eugene Oliver, 1945 to 1992. And here is John C. Lynn Jr., 1956 to 1979. Peggy Lynn, 1936 to 2019. John Lynn, 1934 to 1969. Robert Lynn, 1955. Oh, he was a baby. Oh, he died the same day. That's sad. And his Eli R. Johnson, 1946 to 2007. Gerald R. Johnson, 1945. They don't have his death date or if he's passed away yet. Charlie Dixon Johnson, 1908 to 1992. Here's Francis M. Johnson, 1918 to 2001. And I think that's going to do it for this one. We walked around Pine Grove Cemetery here in Pine Grove Baptist Church. I'll be honest with you, it kind of gets to me because it was, most of my family, my grandfather, my grandmother, cousins, uncles. So I hope you enjoyed this one. If you have, leave me some feedback in the comments below. And until next time, my friends, remember to love God, love others, and reach the world.